Hi, I'm Jerry Springer. On my stage today sit two types of racists. White racists, the Metzgers, Tom and his son John, the directors of the white Aryan race. But I also want you to meet a man a lot of people consider to be a black racist, the founder of the Black Panther Militia, Commander Michael McGee. Commander McGee says white people in America must make financial restitution for 365 years of slavery. Commander, what are you going to do to America if the whites don't pay up?
Well, first of all, I think we have to understand that reparations are due to the black community because of 365 years of free labor that we put into building the United States as slaves, working from sun up to sundown. In 1995, if this is not accomplished, then what I'm promising is that we'll begin a campaign of urban guerrilla warfare aimed at the power structure, the white power structure in the United States of America.
And what will you do, specifically?
Whatever is necessary to be done. Guerrilla warfare means by any means necessary, sniping, assassinations, sabotage, you name it.
You're holding a gun to our heads. And I got to believe that there are people out there, white Americans, who say, I believe in an integrated society. White Americans who say, but wait a second, I never owned a slave. I never beat up a black person. I never fired a black person. I never told my kid he or she couldn't date, marry, love a black person. But why am I paying for 365 years?
Well,
and if we don't pay up, you're going to shoot us?
First of all, there's probably only 10 or 12 white people that say what you just said in the first place. Because white America...
You are wrong.
Because America is the most segregated country in the world. Look at church. Any of y'all out there know when you go to church on Sunday, don't know black people go to your church that you go to. So if you know if your church is segregated, then your whole life is segregated.
And you're talking snipers and assassination. 1995, a white person driving down the highway, you or your organization or whatever the organization is, hasn't gotten the money that you demand. And if you don't get the money you demand, those snipers are going to start firing away.
What we're talking about is using a new tactic. The praying, the marching, the begging hasn't worked. Martin Luther King has been dead over 25 years. I was a teenager at the time, and we're worse off now than we've ever been, and things are getting worse for black people.
You sit there and say what?
Well, as far as we're concerned as white separatists, we believe that Mr. McGee wants to target the Washington criminals, which many of them are white. If he wants to target the transnational corporate leaders or many people, the Fortune 500, that's fine. If he wants to target the wishy-washy race-mixing whites out there in suburbia, we don't care. However, if he does come towards our racial separatist people, he would be annihilated.
I don't like that word, annihilation.
You know better than he is.
Don't use annihilation.
You guys are both the same.
Don't use that.
They would be killed.
What?
Okay.
They will be killed. This is great.
Yeah.
Welcome to America. A
In
white and a black
California,
person sit next to each other. Now you guys are talking about killing each other. Whatever happened to the melting pot?
We don't need to kill each other. That's why we're here. We're talking, and we need to talk more, and we're willing to talk.
And you don't like the idea that blacks live in America?
I believe that slavery was a disaster to the white race because it retarded technology. And it was a terrible thing. Only 1% of the population of the South owned and profited from slaves, and the bankers, the Massachusetts bankers and shipbuilders and Jews made a tremendous amount of money.
Annihilation is annihilation, whether it's done by the Black Panther way or by this way, and it is wrong.
Even in the equation.
You people prove that ignorance is not bliss; it is just ignorance.
You're not even in the equation. Sit down.
First of all, to the young man, Mr. McGee, I don't know what church or what God you all three of you serve.
There's only one God. There's only one God.
What God do you serve?
There's only one God.
What God do you serve?
God. There's only one God.
What God do you serve?
There's only one.
And God says we should start shooting each other.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Oh, yeah?
No doubt about it.
Where in the Bible does it say we're supposed to start shooting each other?
Read Revelations.
Well, we're not going to run the future of this country based on that old science fiction book, if that's what you mean.
Or what? Now, you're not saying the Bible's science fiction.
It's nonsense.
I've got something to say. You all are standing here, you're going to shoot each other in 1995. Let's just take it out back right now and do it.
Would you like to get involved? Oh, yeah?
All right, settle down. I just have a question for Mr. McGee.
Settle down. By the way, the chairs are bolted down, so don't.
I have a question for Mr. McGee. I understand where you're coming from when you said they had 365 years of free labor, but what is it going to accomplish now to get money? I mean, and who's going to get the money? And then besides, whoever gets the money, is it going to be people like you?
Well, I put it this way. I think that the money would have to be put into a national fund. On the serious side.
I'm just asking.
But you know, there are a lot of people that say, but answer that question. Maybe it's a fair question that
He
he's
asked
asking.
about 3 or 4 questions. I mean,
Okay.
which one you want me to answer?
Okay, what I want you to answer the question is why do people today?
Now that is a stupid question. Now, really, you are
what the
stupid.
hell? It's my name on the
you
talk
are
show.
stupid because and both of y'all are stupid. Both of y'all are stupid because
I don't
how
mind
can
being
you
stupid
ask,
as long as you don't point the gun my way.
Ask any Japanese, why would you need to be reparated for being interned during World War II? Why would you need to be reparated for having a Holocaust committed against your race now?
And
because it's past due and it should be done.
And what about the hundreds of thousands of white slaves that came here even before the blacks?
Idiot, man.
Okay.
You are a real idiot.
No, the difference is, for the last, right now, most of society is not saying we are going to take anybody and just hold them up because of their race. In other words, okay, tell me both. Good, okay.
Right now, 25% of young black men are in jail. Right now, 40 to 50% of black men are not working. Historically, black people have been persecuted based on race. Economically, we have a prison system that is like South Africa. We have 5 times more blacks in America in jail than in South Africa. And here in Illinois, we got 10 times more blacks.
That's why integration doesn't work.
So reparations are for right now. Michael, you're 100% right.
That's
now,
temporary.
what's smart, if the leadership was smart in America, they would begin a reparations plan today and pay for what they did to black people. And, brother, you are gone.
See, that's only a temporary answer.
Stand up.
Well, the whole thing is, first of all, you're talking about paying for all this stuff. You didn't do nothing, and I mean, you're saying ancestors.
What you mean I didn't?
You yourself didn't go out and bail any hay, did you?
You're not a part of your ancestors.
But I'm saying you're saying you want to get paid.
Didn't do.
You're saying you want to get paid for what? You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything.
What his grandfather
This is my roommate, and because he's white, he should pay me because my ancestors were slaves. That doesn't make any sense.
That's somewhat of a point here.
What? What did he say?
We got it. Hold it. I'll give you a second.
I want to go back to the.
Okay, hold on.
I do
Wait, we
think
can only hear one at a time. I'm going to give you a chance.
I do think that once you start down that road, the logic is clear. Why would you give reparations to Japanese? It's insane. Or Jews or anyone else. And so if you're going to argue about reparations, let's all argue about reparations.
I just want to know what he said.
Except the white
I didn't
rich.
hear what he said.
No, I said that we wouldn't get it from you because you don't. If you live with him, you don't have any money.
Why do you say that?
Because he thinks I'm stupid.
Wait a second.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. I'm going to get you.
WISC wants your word for 1-800-LAW-4444.
Rest your head. You.
I'm Jerry Springer, and I'm talking to the founder of the Black Panther Militia, Commander Michael McGee, and the directors of the White Aryan Resistance, Tom and John Metzger. Now, joining us now is Art Jones, National Chairman for the America First Committee. He says there will be no war if blacks will just admit that they are biologically underdeveloped. These are your words, not mine. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Say what you want.
Well,
please let him hear, and then we'll get him. Go ahead.
The black gentleman earlier there talked about all the blacks that are in prison in the state of Illinois and in the United States of America. Blacks commit 8 times more assaults than whites, 9 times more rapes, 14 times more murders, 19 times more armed robberies, and black neighborhoods are 35 times less safe than whites. And in a study of 629,000 interracial crimes, 9 out of 10 were black on white.
Okay.
That, to me, shows biological underdevelopment. They are biologically...
the numbers you had nothing to do with biology. So what you're talking about
biologically, the black people are breeding backwards. They're getting more and more primitive, more and more violent, more and more ignorant.
Jerry, I'd like to bring up the point that is white Aryan resistance. What we're doing, this is just a sideshow. What we're doing is we're promoting racial separation. Whenever you have conflicts or problems, similar to former Yugoslavia, you must separate or just you can have problems.
Yes, but
now we're doing this by, we promote our monthly newspaper, which we publish. We have a television program that's been on for 9 years. It's in about 15 states
but right
here
what?
In Illinois.
In all due respect,
so
you make it sound so polite. You sit there very well spoken.
I'm trying to negotiate. See, to you it's just a sideshow. You go back to your white
No, it isn't a sideshow.
You don't live what you're preaching.
Yes.
So you're up here, you're deceiving everybody. Most of the audience are doing the same thing, too.
No.
You don't go to the public schools.
No, we've
you
all...
go to private
no,
schools.
I dare say... No, wait a second. Wait a second. You sit there very politely and say, we just quietly want white... We want separation.
Work, but the way
but you know what?
Mr. McGee in
because
a box,
we have all sacrificed life. Please be quiet. Please be quiet.
Too, Jerry.
I'll get you in a second.
I'll
get you a second.
One second. United States government.
Please be quiet. I'm going to ask you to leave. Please be quiet. Okay. The point is that no matter how politely you talk about this separation, the reality is that all of our families, somewhere along the line, have sacrificed lives. Have sacrificed lives for the idea America, for the idea that it didn't matter what color you were or religion. You were.
America was never that.
America was always that until you came along and knocked the Indians out.
The Indian? Well, why don't you want to give the Indians reparations then?
It is so hard to believe that we are living in America. This gentleman is sitting here talking about all the black on black crime. I just want to ask you this.
Ma'am.
Black on white crime. Was Jeffrey Dahmer, was he black?
Jeffrey Dahmer?
Was the California murder, was they black?
But for every Jeffrey Dahmer we produce, you produce 10,000 rapists, murderers, robbers, thugs, dope addicts, pigs, and whores.
I don't know what plan you guys came out of it. So whatever, you should go back.
Now that's a fact. Those are the crime statistics of the FBI.
Sir.
Argue with FBI. Don't argue with me.
Okay, go ahead. I do not take insults. So if you sit here and continue to insult and use that word about whores, we'll start a war right here now.
I'm just saying
you're not stating facts.
Well, the point is...
Hey, you let that come out of your mouth one more time. You will have...
We are hooked on phonics. We are learning to read.
This is the best class I've ever had in my life. It has to be due to Hooked on Phonics. The best investment you could make would be to buy this program. There is no better way to learn, and it's the best investment you will ever make.
We are hooked on phonics.
Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
If you've been hurt in an accident, you need a lawyer. Our lawyers can help you get money. Money for your injuries and money for your pain and suffering. Call the Lawyers Group to be connected with a participating lawyer or law for over 10 years.
I don't give up. We are back, and let me first apologize for the disruption at the end of the show. It is not, I don't want to be a part of anything which brings violence into anybody's home. The test here is, and then I'll continue with the discussion. I will not censor anything that any of you say, okay? My hope is that we're able to discuss this without punching each other out. I mean, that's the whole notion. Keep whatever ideas you want, but We don't have to start hitting each other. It's a big
Jerry,
country.
I'm gonna say this. I'm a Vietnam veteran.
So am I.
I went and fought for this country.
So did I.
And I did not come back to fight to be insulted or have my women in our community insulted. We had a conversation going here without insult. So keep the insults out of it.
Well, the question was off the subject, too. The question you asked.
What I started to say when I was reciting these crime statistics, now I've met a number of black people in life. I've met a number of black people here in the Jerry Springer Show. I'm very fond of some of the staff members here, some of whom are black. And I do not think all black women are prostitutes, okay? And if that's what he thought by that statement, I did not mean that. But the fact of the matter is, the crime statistics that I recited are a matter of FBI records.
Okay, I understand, but put the numbers aside for a second. But you see, here's what the problem is, and I condemn both sides, frankly, and this is just my opinion. But I think what happens is when we start saying black this, white this, instead of saying, here's a human being I know, and here are his or her qualities, and here's another human being I know, and that's what we got to start doing. And every time we start putting a label on it, race, we wind up someone beating the hell out of somebody else. Why?
What I want to say is this crime issue, crime makes money for white people. We got a $2.6 billion budget here in the city of Chicago. Black people make less than 1/10 of 1%. We can't get no job. You force us in the criminal activity to survive. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Forget that liberal stuff. Ain't no liberals. You understand? In Hyde Park, that's the home of the mixed marriage. The University of Chicago been putting justices on the Reagan court, the Bush court, rolling back the gangs of the 60s, talking about they liberals. Ain't no liberals. We need to all separate. You in the middle, I'm with you. Integration destroyed my people.
Absolutely.
Getting with you destroyed my people.
Absolutely.
And just like I pointed out before the fight erupted, these people, and he's just a peon, but we're talking about the white corporate elite and the others involved that are playing all sides off on each other to deter us. We've got a problem with the United States government. I'm a racist. I want to be separate, but the problem I have is with the U.S. government and my own people because they've betrayed me. And now I'm the scapegoat for other people also, blaming all white people in general. I'm trying to negotiate this thing because you can see it gets out of hand pretty quick with a few questions.
They don't want us to negotiate. The powers that be do not want us to negotiate.
The powers that be are the American people, and most,
American
with exception
people,
of you.
Are you kidding? Only about 35% of them even vote. The blacks are in control of their own destiny. They have their own politicians. They have their own police. They have everything.
If you want a separate society, then you're not talking about America.
Most America will be what America will be what the people with the will have decided it's going to be, not the people who just talk.
America is the idea. Every country has land, every country has leaders, every country has armies. What makes America special is that we have an idea. And the idea for 200...
The idea is cheap labor.
Because
cheap labor,
we are
cheap labor.
imperfect.
Jerry,
we are imperfect.
The almighty dollar...
The reason our country is the way we are now is because all four of you, and you being biological undeveloped, the only thing that's biological undeveloped about you is your education.
Oh, I've got an education, so I'm messing with yours every day. I got a degree in the University of Wisconsin. Where did you get yours? Second grade dropout?
What? Now, you three are saying you want to be separate, right?
We believe the best interests of the black race, the white race, Hispanics, and so forth would be best served by having a homogeneous society, similar to Japanese, Chinese, and so forth.
And where should these people go?
We should negotiate. People, big land areas, this is going to break up anyhow. It don't make any difference whether I'm here, John's here, this man's here.
So wait,
this country is going to break up. Even the demographers say that.
So what you're saying then, if African Americans and Italians and Hispanics and Jews and decide that they like it here, they don't want to leave, then what you're saying is that your kind of white people, whoever it is, I don't know what your group is, that you're all ready to leave.
The Jews are
you're
on
ready
their
to
own.
leave?
The Jews are on their own. I won't promise them anything.
First of all, we, everyone here
that is not a racist. And a racist, let me tell you the dictionary do you know the dictionary definition of a racist? It's someone with power, someone who believes in race, who can affect someone of another race. You are not even a racist.
Definition.
First of all, you are a minority. I hate to say it, but you are all the minority.
Racist is someone who believes in race.
One at a time. I don't want to start this again.
Jerry.
Also, as far as I can understand, the American Indians were given reparations. I also think that blacks should be given reparations, but do it in education. Do it in rebuilding your country.
Okay, you want to be separate, okay? Well, what if the rest of us don't want to be separate?
I was on a radio station.
I'm going to stand right here. If I want to stand by my friend Renee here, I'm going to. Why don't you get the hell out if you don't want to be...
All I can tell you is the young lady made a poor choice.
Does this offend you?
That's a perfect example of
It's the young lady that made the bad choice.
And Mr. Jones, I'm
You what?
He just proved my point.
I didn't hear what you said.
Our point.
I said
you are proving our point by what you were doing.
I said the young lady made the bad choice.
Wait, I gotta get back to you. I'll get you.
Hold on.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
I said I sit on his lap.
I'll bet
This
you
is our
do.
city vacation. You're running this,
Fine. You can
Why
all
don't you
go
just
do that.
make like
We just
Michael
don't
Jackson
want
and
any
beat it?
part of it.
I have two questions. Mr. Metzger and your son, weren't you recently convicted in a civil court case
Held liable. One witness, he
against a
lied.
beating death of an African in Portland?
Yes.
And judgment was served against you?
It was a judgment civil. We're appealing the decision.
Okay.
It was a total ramrod. You guys don't understand
Mr. McGee,
justice.
maybe that's the beginning
you've
of
never been in a
reparations.
courtroom,
Maybe
so don't...
they'll be proved bankrupt.
Well, I could tell the black people in this place that to accuse me of going to Portland to kill a black person or sending anybody to Portland to kill a black person is absurd. I never did it, and it's a ramrod job. But you want to believe it, so you'll believe it.
Jerry. Okay, my second question, I'm from mixed parentage. I'm black, and my mother's white, my father's black. Where should I go?
Almost anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Mr. McGee here, I don't know what your amount of money that you're asking for, but the fact of the matter is this country paid in 1992 $292 billion in interest on the national debt. Now, if you want $1 billion to build up a nation of your own, I'd say give you the $1 billion, give you $5 billion, give you $10 billion, but just... I think that Mr. McGee is on the right track as far as that goes. The fact of the matter is, the people in this audience don't represent the people of the city of Chicago.
And also,
this city is the most segregated city in the country.
And also,
the overwhelming majority of white people around the country don't want integration. We don't want it.
Black
they don't want
veterans
it.
should
They
go to
don't
the
want it.
Japanese, too.
Okay, when we return, a black woman who is preparing for civil war. We'll be right back.
Dr. Death.
Death is a natural thing we're all going to face. I don't think it's
what you need, and there's no charge unless we settle or win. Baron Rosenbaum, we're here to help.
I used to hide behind bangs whenever my forehead got shiny. It's even little.
A leader is someone who teaches somebody they can look up to, trust, believe in, giving them a role model.
I'm the senior patrol leader. His name's Mario.
Leaders are voted in.
He's taught us about knots and first aid.
He's the one that knows what we're going to be doing.
If anybody needs help, we help them.
That's how I became a patrol leader, because I was taught how to become one.
I make sure they're organized.
Scouting, because the time to train the leaders of tomorrow is today.
He's my friend.
Guests of the Jerry Springer Show stay at the elegant Midland Hotel in the heart of downtown Chicago, where guests enjoy a complimentary lavish breakfast buffet and attentive personal service.
Please welcome Deputy Commander of the Black Panther Militia, Doris Green. Deputy Commander Green says it appears that a racial war is inevitable. I admit, looking at what we saw on the stage earlier in this show, one could draw that conclusion. But for the American population in general, why do you reach that conclusion?
It's inevitable because, as Micah said, we've tried everything to date, from the sit-ins to the boycotts to the political system, actually being involved in the system. And so far, nothing's working. And the best thing to do is to do something that hasn't been tried before, and I think this is going to be it.
Guys, I don't want to sound like a conservative, but let me ask the question. You say nothing's working. Isn't something working? Is there nothing that's better than it was?
Well, look at Los Angeles. That tells you.
I know, but there's
nothing.
I mean, look at Los Angeles.
But there's a lot of Los.
Chicago is like Los Angeles.
But in fairness,
see, the problem is that
isn't there a lot of Los Angeles that is not like that?
No.
Not everyone in Los Angeles was shooting each other and fighting each other.
No, not everyone. See, the problem is that as black people, when we erupt, it's usually based on the spontaneous combustion. What we're talking about is we've got to have a protracted struggle where we start doing something a little different. Now, the guy out here talking about they whooped up the Indians. They whooped up. The white American ain't whooped up nobody. They've used black men to fight every battle they've ever fought, except we haven't fought them. Now it's time for us to fight the so-called master to show them that they haven't done all of this.
Now, again, what I'm telling you is that the only way you'll succeed in that is focusing. You got to go up to the top of these big buildings here where the Fortune 500 and the transnational corporations are at and go for the throat.
Well, I'll tell you now in terms of the guy here in the center here, to me, it sounds like strange bedfellows again, but he makes a lot more sense than the average American that you talk to. I mean, when you hear what he's saying, he's right about the money. He's right. The races are already divided. I would rather be divided with power than be divided without power.
Mr. McGee, go for their throat, not mine.
I think what we find is we have phony liberals. We have phony liberals like Bill Clinton, who appoints blacks to his cabinet as figureheads. But when you look at Bill Clinton's inner circle, it's really all white. And when you deal with this whole question of reparations, Bill Clinton refuses to support the reparations bill that's in Congress today. It's the white liberals who refuse to let this issue of reparations come to the table, and it's being blocked by the White House.
They are the true white supremacists.
And it's very simple. Every year we give $5 billion at least to Israel.
Right.
We give another $5 billion to Egypt. That's $10 billion. Let's bring it on home and divvy it up.
We're going to be broke by 1995. Where are these reparations monies going to come from? 1995, the amount that we pay on the national debt is going to exceed all the income taxes collected by the federal government. Where are those reparations going to come from?
First of all, I want to say that I'm in favor, as an African American, of times for African Americans as a group to get together and to work on their own liberation struggle alone. So I'm in favor of separatism to that degree. But one of the assumptions that we're working from here is that somehow conflict between so-called races has some kind of a historical validity. In Europe, in the 14th century and the 15th century, there was integration of Africans, and it was not. Africans were not excluded from European art and European culture. However, when the Portuguese got into Africa in the 16th century, things changed drastically, and I think one question we need to start asking is, where did racism come from? And where are we going to draw the line, you know? As an African-American, can I go back? As an African-American, if I try to go back to Africa to somehow find all of who I am, that's a big mistake, because a lot of my history is here as an African-American. And so where are you going to draw the line in terms of saying this person's white and this person's Aryan? You know, we think of Germany, we think of Germans and Jews as if they're two different things. No. There were Jews who were in Germany who identified as Germans and had conflicts with Jews who were from other places. So in terms of definitions, you got a real problem. Who are you going to call Africans? Are North Africans Arabs, or are they Africans?
The problem here... Well, the problem here is that people don't understand the reasons for a lot of the, you know, emotional thing about it worldwide for racism, because it equates to tribalism to a degree. And when people feel powerless against an all-powerful state, a government, an economic corporation that they know they have no control over, they're going to revert to what they can control, and that is the race, that is the tribalism, and that's what we do.
Jerry, I just want to agree with the Metzgers and that buffoon on the end that there should be separation.
I just cited facts, sir.
I know.
That's all. FBI statistics. Look it up.
There should be
Can you read? Look it up.
He's going to prove my point
Can you
now.
read?
That there should be separation in society,
We don't believe the FBI.
but the separation should be based on intelligence. Therefore, he would be on the bottom of the trash can.
I just wanted to know
who gives those 5 people on the stage the power or the authority to decide the fate for everybody else when they're not getting what they want?
Well, you let the people decide for you every day. The networks tell you what you should think.
Excuse me, I make my own decisions.
Oh, baloney.
And seeing you up there on the stage makes me
sad, makes me disgusted to be white. If your TV breaks down, you have no opinion.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.